Hi all, my name is Brent and I've got the lovely Laura with me. We're both from Y Safeguarding, formerly the National Safeguarding Unit. And we are here to talk about part 2 of the people section of the Safeguarding Guidance document. And I'm pretty excited about that. How about you, Laura?
Very excited, so excited.
All right, fantastic. So from a continuation of part 1, so we've obviously recruited and vetted our staff. Now I just want to ask, so once they sort of get their foot in the door and we've selected our best candidate, do they get to stay forever?
Sadly, they might not stay forever, but there's a bit more involved than that, Brent. So once we do have the right Y person to come join the team, there is a bit of an onboarding and induction process that has to occur to make sure we do have that right person, but also to make sure that they're supported and given the right information in order to do their job and to keep children and young people safe.
And that just changes all the time, doesn't it?
It does, it does. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Y Safeguarding induction video, but that is a real nice encapsulation of what we do at Safeguarding at the Y, and that's formed part of our national induction toolkit as well. So that's definitely a good start, is to show them that new video. If you are a manager, there is a toolkit to step you through that process of what to do. But it's also making sure that they know, okay, I work at the Y now, what does that mean when keeping children and young people safe? What can I do? What can't I do? And we're really lucky that we have the National Safeguarding Policy that steps us through that, but also your own association or member-wise code of conduct or standard of conduct, which has our safe behaviours. It can seem like a lot of documents when you first start at a place, and we get it, we hear it, but unfortunately there are some things you just do have to understand, and in order to do your job the best you can, those are the documents that you need to be aware of when you start the Y.
Right, amazing. So obviously, yes, that sounds a little bit intense, but I just think it's really amazing, obviously, that if I were a candidate or I just got on the job, I'm actually being well equipped to understand what I need to do.
Absolutely.
Now, what's my manager going to do with the safeguarding leads and the National Safeguarding Unit to make sure that I can continue learning?
Great question. So aside from the induction, they're going to make sure you're trained. So they're going to make sure you know what you need to do to keep children and young people safe that is relevant for your role. So for example, if you work in finance, there is still a role that you absolutely have to play, but that training will look really different to someone who is in an early learning centre, for example, and what they're going to have to learn to do. So your manager, the safeguarding leads, and us, the NSU or Y Safeguarding, will make sure that you get the right training that you need in order to do your job, but we will also support you and be there for you along your journey with the Y. So that can look like a probation period, which most people at other organisations have as well. So at the Y, it could be 3 or 6 months, and you'll get enough support in that time to be able to do your job correctly, but also adequately. And also after that, reviewing your performance management. So looking at your position description, how safeguarding implements there, but also managing that process over time and reviewing your performance with that child safety lens, I suppose.
Awesome. So that sounds fantastic. So that's definitely not about actually checking if I'm doing my job right. It's just to see if I'm struggling.
Correct, right? Yeah, and also making sure that you have that open, honest, transparent conversation with your manager. If you do something wrong, it's okay. You just need to speak to someone, tell someone, and if it's a gap in learning or if it's a gap in policy that you weren't aware of, that's a great opportunity to learn and get that right next time.
That's right. And so I'm just going to reference my video and say that fuels all of our continuous improvement as well. Yep. All right, awesome. So is there any other tip that you want to give to any of our managers out there and our team leaders?
I think when you are, especially in that performance management review process, talk to children and young people as well and try and bring them into that process if you can. So if there is someone that you know this staff member or volunteer has been engaging with, have a chat to them and say, how do you find X and how do you find they do their job? That's really taking that intergenerational approach to everything we do. So definitely ask children and young people and bring them into this process when you can.
Awesome, thank you, Laura. Now, do you have any last tips for our frontline staff?
Yeah, and being there, done that, if this is a process that you are going through and it is your performance that's being reviewed, definitely take it as a learning opportunity and a way to learn more, because this space is always evolving, it's always changing, and it's always progressing. So what may have been the case 12 months ago, usually these performance reviews are annually, there's always going to be something different or an opportunity to learn, and that is absolutely not a bad thing. Just take it as that opportunity and yeah, you'll be fine. So I get that's a lot to take in. Sometimes, yeah, people can be one of those bigger elements and chapters. So yeah, take your time working through this, everyone. But Brent, is there anything else you'd like to add or anything that I might have missed as well? well?
I just think it's really important that our managers, and I know that it's on the tip of your tongue as well, all of our managers understand that using this, I guess, performance management process is actually to make sure that our staff understand where they fit in the larger organizational goals. So as we say to our frontline staff, don't take this as criticism in a bad way, this is continuous improvement, but the process itself also allows our managers to show you where you belong and the work that you're doing. So Laura referenced finance people, and they might think that they don't do anything about safeguarding, but obviously how they're managing budgets means whether we can afford training or not. All right, so it's just about understanding how we can all fit within the strategy, and in turn how we fit within the safeguarding framework as well.
Awesome, thank you.